Who is that?
No, this is you.
Did you take? You gonna be this picture? Stay back there. Who's that?
Oh,
My family.
everybody has the background. No, that starts your video.
Oh, so that's not even.
Hey guys, we are live on the air, but until we officially start, can you mute your mics?
Did he say mute or unmute?
Sure. Okay. I can hear.
Could you guys mute your mics? And also, if you are listening to this on YouTube, can you turn that volume down and only listen to it on the Zoom meeting? Okay, let's see if we have all, let me see if we have all the participants before I officially start. Team Stereo, are your members in the meeting? Give me a thumbs up. I cannot hear you. I was just asking for a thumbs up, but Team Stereo, are your people in? Are your people in? Team Kofi, no, excuse me. See, I'm reading the thing. Team Shawn, the Mossy Warrior, are your people in? Okay, there you go. And you have light. Okay, and I do believe we have my co-moderator in. Audrey, are you in the building? Yes,
I am in the building. Make me a co-host, please.
Thank you. That's why you are the moderator. What button do I push?
Hover over my name over in the chat, or any.
All right, I have you. And
more. Click on
make
more.
host. It says make host.
Co-host.
I don't see co-host.
Oh, you can't make me a co?
Okay, let me see. Let me
I
go to
take
more.
all the power from you.
I'll go to more.
Okay.
Let's see what that says.
Mm-hmm.
More just says stop live stream. Oh, hold on. There's another more. Let's see. Allowing. Okay, no. Okay, guys, bear with us. This is going down. This is big.
Yeah, over in participants, if you hover over my name and click.
All right, let's go that way.
Yeah.
Just a second.
Hey, everybody.
Okay, see now you had me hit too many. Okay, just a second. I hit too many buttons.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm in the Zoom room. Let me.
Over my name and participants.
Okay, now I have to, and everybody bear with us. Now I have to get the actual Zoom back. I'm in YouTube. Just a second.
I think I'm gonna turn my air conditioning up.
Okay, here we go. Participants. Audrey Moore. Okay, when Audrey gets back, I'll let her know that all it says is make host.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, all it says is make host, Audrey.
Okay. I guess you got to give up the power then.
Okay, that means you're gonna have work to do. You don't know these people on this other side.
Oh my goodness.
You don't know.
Beat up.
I'm telling you right now,
That
watch
sweet smile
watch
on Vita's
stereo
face, that's scaring me right now. Vita
and watch the guy named Ankh and watch the guy named Stereo. That's all I'm saying.
Lord. Okay, stereo grinning too. I'm gone. I am running.
All right, I am pushing. I'm making you host.
Okay.
All right, so that means that all mics cut off during time periods is on the team. I'll explain to that, but you are make Audrey meeting. Okay, so it says change host. I really want to say co-host, but
Yeah, me too.
I'll give it one more shot, guys. Just hold on. This is going down. We'll try more. Nope. And we'll try by your name. More. Nope. Stop video. Make host. Allow record. Rename. Put in
Vita's
waiting
raising her
room.
hand. Unmute your mic, Vita, so you can ask your question.
Okay, that is
Unmute
Kai. Unmute your mic, Kai. You have your hand up.
No,
That's
Vita.
Kai.
Vita does.
That's Kai. That's Kai.
Oh, it's Kai. Okay, Kai's on Vita. Okay.
What's going on, Kai?
See,
You have your hand up.
you see, you messing me up already.
Hi, beautiful lady, whoever you are.
Kai, what do you need? Why'd you have your hand up?
I didn't. I'm trying to work it. So
Okay, all right. I'm gonna put your hand down.
Buttons.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna lower your hand. So, Audrey, because only choice that I have is to make you host. So,
Okay, do it.
if that's the case, you know that all the time cutoffs are gonna be on you. Mic cutoffs are on you.
Okay.
And to change the view from speaker view to gallery view from time to time. Sometimes we want to see some reactions. Most time when individuals are speaking just on them, but occasionally you can flip to gallery view, but most of the time on speaker view when the person is speaking, okay?
Okay.
All right, I will do that. I will make that done and I will begin the official announcement. Stereo, do you have your light, or that's just your light in the waiting room? Because you're a little dark, bro.
You can't see me?
You're a little dark.
Okay. This is I'm real dark.
Not real dark, but
Like you're in
darker
the
than
shadows.
what you have
Yeah,
been.
it's like you're in the shadows.
Yeah,
okay.
you're in the shadows.
All right, let me add some light. It's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you already.
And y'all said the Ankh was gonna be in the dark, and now Stereo, you in the dark, bro.
With a European tie on. Boy, you need to stop. Boy, I tell you, boy.
All right, Ankh, mute your mic, man. Mike, Ankh getting it started already.
Man, I can't believe him. He got the penguin suit on. Goodness gracious.
Can we see what I tell you, Audrey? Okay, Audrey, here we go.
Can I
I'm going
speak to
to
the
make
sister?
you.
Can I speak to the sister?
Come on, he on time, man. Let him do his thing, because when that time clock starts, it's all that's done.
How you doing, Sister Kai? You've been ducking the whole time. How you doing, sis?
She's on mute like everybody should be, even you, Ankh. All right, I'm making you the host.
Okay, I'm waiting for my message.
You are the host.
I'm
now.
it.
Okay, we're going
Can
to
you see
start.
me now?
All right, we need everybody to mute their mic for right now.
All right, can you see me too?
Yes, still not as bright as you have been, but you better.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Talk to me, Cleveland, and all points north, east, west, and south. You already know what this is. We've been waiting for this for a long, long time. It's been about 2 months almost in the making. If people were watching on Chill Talk on Facebook page, you saw this develop. This developed as a discussion, sometimes in the chat, sometimes on the actual platform between our brother Shawn P and our brother Stereo, the Hitman, and it has led us to this. This is a debate about vaccines. Now, I'm going to give you the actual resolution of this debate title. We will give you a chance, a brief introduction. I will introduce my co-moderator, who has finagled the reins and become the host of this, my sister Audrey Wiggins. We will allow each member of each team to do a brief introduction of themselves. And hopefully, if our sponsor makes it in, we will let her introduce herself. But if not, I'll take care of that for her. But this is the Chill Talk, Chill Vision Television debate, public forum debate. The resolution is Black people in America should take government-approved vaccines, pro or con, for or against. And we are using an official debate format. This is the public debate format. And I want to give a shout out to a couple of people who helped chime in on tweaking suggestions how this debate should go according to the actual proper procedures of debates. First and foremost, my friend John Kersey over at Cuyahoga Community College. Big up for Tri-C. Please support your community colleges all over, but specifically Cuyahoga Community College in Cleveland, Ohio. Also, to my man, Saba Wujau Min Iri Maat, who I reached out to get a couple of tips on debate format. He was able to help me out on a thing or two. And finally, to my brother, James Lewis, the debate coach and instructor at University School. So we worked out a format. Everybody didn't like it, but everybody agreed to it. And we figure it's fair for everybody. And it is the best method right now for getting this done in a timely manner. I'd like to introduce our moderator, co-moderator, Miss Audrey Wiggins, and I will mute your mic. Audrey, could you introduce yourself and tell the audience a little bit about who you are?
Hey, Chill and team. Yes, Audrey Wiggins here, your chief brand strategist from All Together Marketing. I'm excited to be here to help moderate this event, this great debate about taking vaccines. So thanks for having me on.
Thank you. Okay, we will meet our team members. First, we will meet Team A. Team A is con against vaccine. So I will introduce brother Stereo, the Hitman. Let him quickly, briefly introduce himself.
I don't know how quickly and briefly, but what's up, everybody? Stereo, the Hitman, right here. Craig Baxter. Here to definitely educate. Here to definitely desecrate some of the rumors and basically show and tell what America can be doing instead of what they should be doing or being told what to do. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All I asked you to do was introduce yourself, but we go rock with that. All right, if we can have Sister Kai Love, if she can briefly introduce herself, let us know who she is.
Unmute your mic.
I am Kai Love, and I am the author of I Am Wealth, the Internal Manifesto to Manifestation. I'm a lecturer and a life coach and overall healer of humanity. That's as brief as.
Thank you, Sister Kai. Go ahead and mute your mic. My brother, Corey Kane, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
The real warriors in here. Hey.
Was that your introduction, bro?
Oh yeah, Corey Kane, you know, the holistic nutritionist. We in the building. You already know what we came to do. We got all knowledge, all wealth, all health, all manifestation. Shout out to my team, big winning team. See, you got Cube, I got a different face. You got Cube, but I got a different face, Chill. You got Cube, but I got no chill. It's about prophecy tonight. I listened to your video. Hey, we gonna have to make a song, Chill, real talk. That's my intro.
All right, I'm not quite sure what video you listened to, but we'll work it out. All right, now introducing the pro team, and we'll start with the other brother who kind of got this whole thing together. We want to give him his official name. is, I want to read it as I know that it is supposed to be. Any Eret Shawn Califani. You see him on the block as Shawn P. Shawn, introduce yourself.
ETM Hotel, Brandy Shawn. That's welcome in peace. My name is Shawn. Thank everybody for having me on the panel today. And shout out to all the panelists. We're ready to go to war. Spears and flying.
All right, we will go to our other queen in here, Dr. Oya Maat. Dr. Maat, please introduce yourself.
Peace and love. This is your sister, Dr. Maat. I'm a professor of engineering at Morgan State University. Ooh, ooh. And I'm here to set the record straight. I look forward to having this discussion with you all.
All right, and finally, we have, you see him on here, is Ankh West, Anka Keck, better known as the God Killer. Brother Ankh, could you please introduce yourself?
Black African power was good, was happening, a well-organized lie. Defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, you already know who it is, man. It's God Killer in the house. And we come to do what we got to do, and we're going to do what we got to do. We standing tall, we standing strong. Hey, pseudo killers on deck, Mossy Clan warriors, Amin Raw Squad up official. Look, check this out, man. We here to do our thing, man. My name is Brother Unk. This is what we do. We educate people so they don't be in the situations like Nick Cannon. We educate people so they can stand up tall, right, in times of a pandemic. So this is what we're here to do. We're going to educate. We're going to do our thing. We space-age Africans, and we love our ancestors.
All right, thank you, Brother Ankh. As we proceed, I will give you the order of which the teams will go. But first and foremost, everybody will start off, all team members will start off with their opening remarks, their opening constructive speech, and that will be a 5-minute period. Starting off for the team A will be Brother Stereo, the Hitman. He will start off, and his subtopic will be who started the Vax movement, the funding of it, and the Cutters incident. And he will be rebutted by Dr. Maat. Team A speaker 2 will be Brother Corey Kane. His subtopic will be holistic nutrition, natural remedies, immune and lymphatic systems, and organic remedies to pathogens. And he will be rebutted by Brother Anka Keck. Speaker 3 of Team A will be Sister Kai Love, whose subtopic will be the adverse side effects of vaccines, emotionally, physically, and mentally. And she will be rebutted by Brother Shawn P. Followed up by Team A, the summary will be done by Corey Kane, and the final focus will be done by Stereo, the Hitman. All right, the introduction of Team B. Pro 4. Speaker 1 will be Dr. Oya Maat, and she will be speaking about the history of vaccines, and she will be rebutted by Stereo, the Hitman. Speaker 2, Brother Anka Keck, the God Killer. Will be speaking about the immune system and autism, and he will be rebutted by Brother Corey Kane. Then we have Speaker 3, Kai Love, about the, I already said that, adverse side effects, excuse me. The summary, excuse me, I'm done with that. Team B, my fault. Team B, I already told you Dr. Oyama, the history, Brother Anka Keck, the immune system, and finally, Speaker 3 for Team B will be Brother Shawn, who will be talking about vaccine myths, and he will be rebutted by Sister Kai Love. And I already told you that the summaries will be done by both teams. And I'm saying right now, the rules are the opening will be 5 minutes each, which will be followed by a crossfire round where the 2 first speakers will get a chance to ask each other questions, followed by a brief answer. And then the other person will ask a question followed by a brief answer. So teams, this is a 3-minute section in total for everybody. So make the questions brief, make the answers brief. And that will be 3 minutes. Then the rebuttal will be 3 minutes. Now there will be a grand crossfire near the end, and that will be 5 minutes where all 6 people will get a chance to ask each other questions, brief questions, followed by brief answers. That will be 5 minutes. The summary will be 2 minutes. The summary will be 2 minutes, and the final focus by a person from each team will be 2 minutes. We already told each member, told the teams that they are responsible for keeping their own time. So time yourselves, and we expect for you to stop at the end of your time. But we will also be keeping time. The moderator will be keeping time. And if you go over, there you go. You see Sister Audrey. Sister Audrey, part of your screen to shout. Okay, there we go. She has her time. She will not only, it will make a sound, but you also will probably hear a voice saying, I'm sorry, time is up, if you are still talking. So if we are ready, we will begin. It was already predetermined who will go first. First up for Team A will be none other than Brother Stereo, the Hitman. Once you begin talking, your time will start. Please share this, everybody watching. Brother Stereo, it's on you.
Well, I want to begin by saying greetings to everyone, and may you have a blessed day. What my platform is for our team, the Hitman, is not to combat with anyone about anything. What we want to do is educate the public and the people on what these vaccines are and what they are made of. You know, I have a very serious say when I say people know cigarettes to kill you. So some people who know that won't smoke, and some people who know that still smokes, but at least they know they'll kill you. So basically, I want to just start with the Cutters incident, okay? This is an individual that was manufactured from vaccines, had few options to compensation before an important court case in the 1950s. Now, I'm going to bring you from here and I'm going to bring you up. You know, the polio vaccine they gave them paralyzed people, and then it also killed people. And it was polio from a salt polio vaccine. You know, certain lots of which contained virus that had not been inactive in spite of the manufacturer's adherence. So let me make that simple. They make vaccines that's not even for something that's active, just to have them there. And the things they put in them, we'll get to that part. It's public information as well. But the event came down known as the Cutters incident. After the manufacture of one of the implicated vaccines, many injured people and their families filed lawsuits against vaccine manufacturers. And most of the cases were settled out of court with monetary awards in manufacturing. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, which is called the DHHS, established the system, that National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program, in 1988. Is founded by taxing 75 cents per vaccine doses collected from vaccine manufacturers by the U.S. Department of Treasury. The NVICP does not cover all vaccines, however. Now, as I said, don't cover all vaccines, but the vaccines routinely given by children as a part of recommended immunization schedules are included. Now, amongst these vaccines and some adult vaccines, of course, you know, it's the flu vaccine as well. So amongst these vaccines, compensation payment with the NVICP have averaged 782,136 per successful claims through 2011. Now we're going up to date, with an additional 113 million dispersed to pay attorney fees, as well as costs. The Act award attorney fees costs unsuccessful claims provided by the illegitimate brings the claims to good faith upon reasonable basis. Now, what they call good faith is if you bring the case to them, if somebody died in your family from the vaccine, they got a ceiling that they pay only $250,000. They think your life is just worth $250,000. And at the end of the day, as of December 2011, the program has awarded $2.35 billion and 2,810 separate claims, including compensation for 390 deaths. So at the end of the day, the government knows this is bad. They created a funding because they know people are they'll be coming back to either sue them or because of deaths. Now, the thing about this totally is this. This is what they do in the pharmaceutical, what they call big pharma. They put a pill out there knowing that it can kill you, but they show you in public the side effects. But they figure if they boost the pill up so much, they make millions of dollars off of it. So by the time the lawsuits come back, they can pay that. It's like a penny in a bucket. But all the lives at stake. So our basis is not to say, hey, don't take the vaccine. Hey, don't do this. What we're saying is we're educating you on what's going on with it and what's in it so you can determine life or death for yourself. But at least you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? American people is like cows. They like a herd of cows. The government say you got to take these vaccines, and they say, okay, we're going to take the vaccines. Without one time never asking what's in it, what it does, and not even asking what it's about. They just do it because it's regulation. My kid can't go to school unless they get vaccinated. This is what they're thinking, and this is the mindset. Where there's no law that says that, and there's ways out of that. But if you don't investigate that, you'll never know it. So that just covers one part of it. Now, when I say things that's in it, you have things like formaldehyde, and that's just to keep it fresh. But at the end of the day, formaldehyde is what you add to a compound and make embalming fluid. Okay, no doubt.
All right, thank you, brother Stereo the Hitman. Real quick, Sister Audrey.
Yes.
When the main speaker is speaking, can we get it in speaker view?
I have it on speaker view on mine as the host.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I can spotlight it to make sure so you can see it that way.
No, I don't need. I mean, because I'm actually looking at YouTube as well.
Okay,
it was still on gallery the whole time.
Okay, all right, I'll spotlight.
So, but what we'll do in fairness, for Dr. Maat's opening constructive speech, we'll leave it on gallery view, and then after that, we'll go to speaker view. Brother Stereo, could you mute your mic, please?
I thought I did. I didn't.
No, you did not. All right, so we hear Dr. Maat's opening 5-minute speech. Then after that, we'll go with speaker view for the majority of the people giving their separate speech. Okay.
All righty.
All right. We will now hear the opening constructive speech by Dr. Maat. Time will begin when you start.
All right. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Beautiful. So the first thing I'm going to begin with addressing, because he began with it, is the Cutter incident that took place in April 1955. During this incident that he's speaking of, more than 200 children in 5 Western and Midwestern USA states received the polio vaccine, in which the process of inactivating the live virus was proved to be defective. So I want to be clear here that it wasn't the vaccine that was ineffective. It was the inactivating of the live virus that proved to be defective. Okay, so let me say that again. It wasn't the vaccine itself that was the defective. It was the process by which they inactivated the live virus. So it says that investigations revealed that the vaccine manufactured by the California-based family firm of Cutter Laboratories had caused 40,000 cases of polio, leaving 200 children with varying degrees of paralysis, killing 10. So that is the incident that he's speaking of, but he did not tell you that after the Cutter incident, 3 larger companies produced a safe polio vaccine, according to Salks, who was the inventor of one of the polio vaccines. So according to his protocol for inactivating the virus with formaldehyde. Okay, so after that manufacturing issue, which we call a programmatic error. And a programmatic error is a medical incident that was caused by some error in transportation, storage, handling, or administration of vaccines. So after that programmatic error, 3 companies produced a safe vaccination, okay, according to Salk's protocol. All right. So it was the lack of experience and expertise at Cutter Laboratories that caused the vaccine to be defective, not the vaccine itself. Okay. So we call that programmatic error. Okay. And what he did not tell you is that this led to the effective federal regulation of vaccines, which today enjoy a record of safety unmatched by any other medical product. All right. So let's look at the process by which a new vaccine is developed, approved, and manufactured. So before a new vaccine is ever given to people, okay, extensive lab testing is done that can take several years. And once testing in people begins, it could take several more years before clinical studies are complete and the vaccine is licensed. All right. So it says that the Food and Drug Administration sets rules for 3 phases of clinical trials to ensure the safety of volunteers. Researchers test vaccines with adults first. So it goes through 3 phases here, family. All right. So in the first phase, you have 20 to 100 healthy volunteers, and they try to determine if the vaccine is safe, does it work, or there's some serious side effects. How is the size of the dose related to the side effects? Okay. And then it moves into phase 2, where it's tested on several hundred volunteers. Okay. And they try to determine what are the most common short-term side effects. How are the volunteers' immune systems responding to the vaccine? Then it moves on to phase 3, where you have hundreds of thousands of volunteers. How do people who get the vaccine and people who don't get the vaccine compare? Is the vaccine safe? Is it effective? What are the most common side effects? Okay. The FDA, the Food Drug Administration, licenses the vaccine only if it's safe and effective. Benefits outweigh the risk. Okay. So even after that, the vaccine may or may not be, if it passes through the phase, it may be added to the recommended immunization schedule. All right. And vaccines are continually modified for safety. All right. And so it says right here that you have the VA, I call it, it says the vaccine adverse, and excuse me, family, I'm trying to rush because I want to make sure I get all of this out within 5 minutes. But it says that the FDA and the CDC closely monitor vaccine safety after the public begins using the vaccine. The purpose of monitoring is to watch for adverse events, possible side effects. Monitoring a vaccine after it is licensed helps ensure that possible risks associated with the vaccine are identified. So you have the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, VAERS. It collects and it analyzes reports of adverse events that happen after vaccination. Anyone can submit a report, including parents, patients, and healthcare professionals. All right. And so, okay, so I'll finish with that. But yeah, vaccines are closely monitored and they go through a very strenuous process before it is given to the public. So I digress.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Maat. What we will do now, we will have a 3-minute crossfire between Dr. Maat and Brother Stereo, of which they can ask each other questions. Please make your question brief, and please make the answer brief, and you will be able to go back and forth. Brother Stereo, you have the first question to Dr. Maat. Dr. Maat, you can respond. Then you can ask Brother Stereo question, and you guys can keep going back and forth until the 3-minute time is up. Brother Stereo, the time will start when you ask your first question.
Okay, so we heard what you said. I think it's great, but you failed to mention one thing. I want to ask you, why didn't you mention the missing science? And why didn't you mention the fact that the vaccine deals with your neurological system? The missing science is why didn't you mention the missing science? Let me just stop right there in the question I just asked you.
All right. So you said, why didn't I mention the missing science? And so I guess now you're asking about the adverse effects of vaccinations. And I know that Brother Shawn P and the sister, I believe that they're going to answer that. So it's no missing science to answer your question. So you said to be brief. To answer your question, there's no missing science. I addressed what you said. You talked about the Cutters incident, and I refuted what you said. And I then explained the process that vaccines undergo before that is given for public consumption, public use. And so you saying that question really, it doesn't make sense, Brother Stereo. You're asking something that isn't relevant to what we are discussing.
So basically, you don't know the answer. So let me give you the answer.
I
Okay.
do.
Hold on. Time out, guys. It's time
Okay.
for Sister Dr. Maat to ask you a question.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's not about not knowing the answer. You're asking me about the missing science. There is no missing science. So, you're asking me about the I guess the side effects of vaccination, and we're talking about the Cutter's incident and the process by which, so that your question didn't make sense. But anyway, my question for you, Brother Stereo, can you explain your research methodology? How did you come to the conclusion that vaccines are dangerous?
Well, it's not a conclusion. My research methodology is pretty close to what you research. But at the end of the day, I research on the web and I research on another web with the personal IP number. So at the end of the day, what you read from the Cutter's, situation, and again, the missing science, I want to say that part just to answer your question. Missing science is the fact that even when they have the vaccine and it is done, they don't go by the weight. So the thing that hurts them the most is the kilograms and the body weight. They don't do that. This is why the vaccines can sometimes hurt and deal with your neurological system, because whether they shoot a baby, whether they shoot a grown man, whether they shoot a heavy set man, whether they shoot a slim man, they don't measure that. That's the missing science.
You have another question. We can keep asking questions. And
the other question to that is, I understand that you said the FDA and all those different people, but at the same time, there's another group also you didn't mention that. That's what I'm saying. Why is it there's another group also you didn't mention that sweep all the bad things under the rug? So, you did your study, and I just want to know why you didn't mention. Everything sounds great when you're trying to be great, but why didn't you mention the things that go wrong? That's what I'm asking.
All right. So you said the things that went wrong. I feel like I did. I acknowledge what you said about the Cutter incident, right? And I talked about the things that they did to correct. We're not saying that science is perfect, Stereo. I hope that's not the impression or the perception that you have. We're not saying that science is perfect at all. So I acknowledge the incident that happened. I went through the numbers. I talked about the different people they gave the number for the number of people who were paralyzed and the number of deaths. And then I talked about what happened. And I explained to you that it wasn't due to the vaccine. It was due to a manufacturing error. And I explained to you what a programmatic error is. And I talked about the things that were put in place to regulate vaccines. It seems to me, Brother Stereo, that you want to argue that vaccines. So you're taking let's be clear.
Dr. Mott, we're going to need a question from you to him.
Okay, he didn't answer. He didn't answer my question at all, Brother Chill. When I asked you what was your research methodology, you said you looked on the internet, brother. That's not a research.
No, that's not what I said.
20 seconds.
Yeah, you say you looked on the internet and you Googled some things and you said you read some things.
You're making up stuff.
You didn't go through your research methodology. My question was never answered. What was your research methodology?
And I said, as well as you look on, I said, I look on the web like you, but I look on also another situation that I use the web and you need a special IP number to look at. That was my answer.
That's not a research methodology, brother. That's not what a research.
That's not your research methodology.
No, brother. I don't think you understand.
All right, that's the time on that portion. Now, man, that was a long 3 minutes. All right, now, although they did some rebutting during that time, now Brother Stereo has 3 minutes to rebut anything that he heard Dr. Maat say. Audrey, let me know if you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, Brother Stereo, you have 3 full minutes by yourself to rebuttal anything that Dr. Maat said during her 5 minutes or during the question and answer.
All right, can you hear me? Okay, so basically, again, let me just touch on the research. At the end of the day, I research a certain way, you research a certain way. The facts is the facts. And at the end of the day, there is a group that take away from these things that they hide. Okay, now this is public knowledge, right? I'm gonna show you what public knowledge is. There's a risk in these vaccines because they're not fully perfected. And they're not, and they're still doing tests over the years. This is the part. Now, at the end of the day, I mean, I'm only here to help the people. At the end of the day, when you say, well, this is I've said, and you keep saying the Cutters incident, you're going right to that incident, but there's more. You know what I'm saying? And the more is these are things they're using in these vaccines that bother you with your neurological system. And when you mess with the neurological system, that shuts everything out. Those are your nerves. This is your brain. If your brain don't work, the body don't work. So at the end of the day, everything is trial and error. I never said science was perfect, but at the same time, don't weigh your judgment on science if you know it's not perfect. And that's the only point I'm trying to make. At the end of the day, I'm not here to scrutinize. I'm not here to say anything. Whatever you research, if you research with 2 strings in the can, that's how you research. I ain't mad at you. At the end of the day, I'm letting you know how I research. And at the end of the day, the things that you just read was the same thing that I researched. So apparently, there's something about what we're researching that's the same if we're both talking about the Cutters incident. So that's just an oxymoron. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is this. When vaccines first began to be widely used, people who experienced serious side effects from vaccine had little recourse and compensation from the manufacturers, physicians, and the government. This was partially a problem when vaccines production techniques were in their infancy. So we all know that part. So now as it goes further all the way up to now, it's not in its infancy, but it's still taking lives. They have a 75-cent per vaccine that they charge each doctor every vaccine. It's 1 billion people taking vaccines in the world. I'm not saying it don't save some lives, but that's just like everybody giving everybody the same pill. How can you give everybody the same pill when everybody's different? That's the whole point. So to argue the fact that, oh, what I'm saying is what I'm saying, common sense and bottom line, period. If I didn't study nothing or research nothing, that's just common sense. If I'm different, you different, and we different, how we taking the same thing to fix us? Impossible. It's different structure, different insides, different flow, everything. So that's really the bottom line. You know, I appreciate you breaking it down, but you're using things like the FCC and the Food and Drug Administration and those.
All right, time is up. All right, now we will prepare for Dr. Maat. We'll have 3 minutes as a rebuttal against what Brother Stereo said during his 5-minute open or his crossfire. And if Audrey is ready for that 3 minutes, let me know.
I'm ready.
All right, Dr. Maat, your 3 minutes of uninterrupted rebuttal will begin when you begin.
She may be, let's stop the timer for a minute.
Dr. Maat, do you have
her video is up. Can we go stop sharing for a minute?
Dr. Maat, do you have your
let me change
mic on?
Okay, can you hear me now?
We hear
yes.
you.
Come on, you bullshit.
That's the moderator.
Clock is going.
Okay, all right. So Brother Stereo obviously doesn't know what a research methodology is, family. I mean, you could do a quick Google search on that. So he failed to provide us with the research methodology he used to conclude that vaccines were dangerous. And so if not vaccines, then what? So right now you're looking at a case of smallpox, okay? And it was a serious and contagious infectious disease that was caused by the variola virus, okay? And it says 3 out of every 10 people with the disease died. And it wasn't until, Edward Jenner in 1796 created the vaccine. And now there are no cases of naturally occurring smallpox happening. Well, it says since 1977. The last natural outbreak of smallpox happened in the United States, occurred in 1959. It wasn't herbs that did this, family. It was a vaccination. So let's move on to the next slide. And I'm looking, oh my goodness, because I know my time is going.
2 minutes.
All right. Can you still see my screen, sister?
No.
Oh man, let me go back because I know my time is. It says I'm sharing. All right. So here we go. All right. So hopefully you see the next slide. All right. Polio. So if not vaccines, then what? Okay, so it wasn't until John Stark and Sabin in the 1950s and 1960s invented the polio vaccine that eradicated polio. The United States have been polio free since 1979. So if not vaccines, then what? Because herbs didn't do this, family. So let's look at this, the measles. All right, so it says that at one point we were looking at 2.6 million deaths per year globally. And it wasn't until Maurice Hillman in 1969 invented the measles vaccine. And it says because it says about 86% of the world's population is immune today, the number of people killed by measles have been cut drastically to an estimated 95,000 deaths. So let's look at this chart right here, family. All right, these are the different diseases on the left side of the chart. And it says the cases. And notice that ever since the induction or the introduction of vaccinations, we've had a 100%, 99%, 97%, 96% reductions in cases. Let's look at the deaths, 100% reductions, okay, all across the board. Let me show you another chart, family. 100% reduction in cases and deaths due to the introduction of vaccinations. So it wasn't a healthy diet that eradicated these diseases. It wasn't herbs that eradicated these diseases. It was vaccinations that eradicated these diseases. And the last thing I want to say is this, that Black African people understandably operate at high levels of fear and paranoia and mistrust as a result of our historical and ongoing trauma. Our fear, paranoia, and mistrust causes us to be driven by emotions rather than logic. It prevents us from receiving information from unfamiliar sources, and it makes us susceptible to misinformation and causes us to be manipulated by disinformation. It's time to recognize and heal, family. Peace and love.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Dr. Maat. Thank you, Brother Stereo, the Hitman. We're doing this the best we can. And I guarantee you, even thus far, this is a lot more structured than a lot of stuff you've seen. No doubt about that. Now, what I do want to say, just to keep everything fair, initially, and both teams were told, if you're sharing and it's something wrong on your end, the time will keep going. Initially, I believe with our moderator, Audrey, she had asked her to come back out because maybe she was on mute on our end. Mm-hmm. Once we got that straight, we proceeded. And although she might have had a problem sharing after that, that's on that team, and we kept going. So we're gonna do this as fair as we possibly can. But you guys can see the time limits, what you need to do, how you use the crossfire. Please, on your crossfire, ask a brief question, give a brief answer, and in return, ask a brief question, get a brief answer, because you will have a full rebuttal time to talk about whatever you heard prior to that. But now we will move on to round two. All right. First speaker up will be the brother Corey Kane, and he will have 5 minutes for his opening constructive speech. Brother Corey Kane, are you ready?
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
The time will start.
Let me just say peace and love to everybody.
Time starts.
Time starts now.
Time start. Peace and love to everybody. But let me also say this: the lady did stop my man. She cut his mic off. She ain't cut Dr. Maya mic off. Hey, call this game right, ref. Call this game right. That's all I'm gonna say.
You caused her to use some of your time. Her mic was cut off after she finished.
Cool.
She finished within time.
I wasted 30 seconds on that, but it ain't gonna. I'm gonna get them all back right here. Holistic nutrition is mind, body, and environment. Let me calm down because I'm excited. But the word holistic itself means mind, body, and environment. That's what the holistic approach is. Now, nutrition, let's talk about what nutrition is real fast, 5 seconds. Is fuel for the body. The body is a machine. It needs fuel to do that. Everybody's here because they had enough fuel to get them up. They didn't get a vaccine this morning when they didn't wake up and take a vaccine for breakfast. All right. So humans are supported by the ecosystem. Now, people talk about herbs, but they don't know what's in them. They bright, but they not that bright because they say herbs instead of what's in it. And what's in it is what your body needs. The ecosystem supports the humans. Mother Earth feed all her children. Mother Earth feed all her children. It's in your front yard, your backyard. what did the body have that supports what it has? It has the lymphatic system. The body has a lymphatic system, which is a network of tissues and organs that helps the body to get rid of toxins, waste, other unwanted materials. The primary function of the lymphatic system is to transport lymph, a fluid containing infection-fighting white blood cells throughout the body. Gang, gang, right? So 4 main functions of the lymphatic system. Okay, so the lymphatic system has B cells, they have T cells. These assassins, right? So these B cells, T cells are lymphonites, mononites, antibodies that produce cells and plasma cells to fight off infection. Not to go into exactly what they do as far as foreign invaders coming into your body, but the T cells and the B cells, they're like, I mean, they're the wrong enemy to come up with when you inside of the body, all right? Not saying that the vaccine won't work, but what I am gonna say is the first vaccine that you ever got before it was a shot was breast milk. Your mother, if you was a privileged child to get breast milk, and white supremacy stopped women from breastfeeding, infant mortality is at its highest rate, and that's the reason, one of the main reasons. But inside breast milk is one of the most powerful things ever. Is called colostrum, right? Colostrum is the most powerful immune booster known to science. Science they don't even know is in colostrum, right? I'm saying it right. All right. So now, not talk about the lysozyme or the lactoferrin, which is and I'm quoting Sci Elo Analytics site. So this is all the first vaccine that you ever got was breast milk from your mother. Okay, and that boosted your immune system or build your immune system. It helps to build your healthy body because she already was exposed to pathogens before you were. So now she's giving you the protection. You have the protection of your mother, not the protection of a company or a vaccine, right? And that's what gives the immune system its power. So what I'm saying is, no, if you get shot in the arm, no, you don't want to take a piece of herb and do it like that, but tell me, how was it done before? And now, and the thing is this, we can say that we don't want to have a healthy diet because these are the things that break down our body, our spleen, our liver, and to trust the government to trust the medical world after so many things like this doctor from Michigan, Dr. Farad, dang, where's his name at? He here over 500 cases of him telling people they got cancer, they didn't have cancer because he said poor people were a commodity to science. Okay, and so the Black America is tired of being a commodity to science. And I only reason why I'm doing this because my mother was a commodity to science. She had triple negative breast cancer. Somebody told her that it was a lump in her breast. It could have been a soy reaction because she drank soy milk, but they chose to put radiation and chose to give her chemotherapy. And she signed up not knowing, just thinking that these people were her allies because they were her co-workers and things like that. So now it's time to take things a holistic approach. We don't know what's in the vaccines. We don't know what they're going to, and I'm not selling my children out, bottom line, time.
All right, Brother Corey, first of all, let me apologize for taking up about 10, 15 seconds of what he was saying. If you want to make one more point, a brief point, Brother Corey, just to keep everything good, you feel free to do so.
Yep,
Briefly.
7 seconds on the clock.
I got
no,
7.
give him 20 seconds for my interruption.
All right. All right, so basically what I'm saying is, and I appreciate this, FC Chill, I definitely do. So the primary functions of the body is so fascinating that it's supported by its ecosystem. We use the word herb, but the technical word that we want to use, we want to know what are we giving our bodies through the proper nutrition. We're giving our bodies fuel. And if our bodies have the proper fuel, we have NK cells, we have all different type of allies inside of our body that help us fight off anything possible that comes inside of this ecosystem. Our body has a way to fight that. And I'm gonna say Tom with that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And I do want to apologize to everybody for actually taking up some of the time, but let me clarify something. Audrey is telling you when you have 10 seconds left. Now, After the 10 seconds, she stops the time. Dr. Maat was told that she had 10 seconds left, and she stopped before the 10 seconds, so her mic never had to get cut off. But what I should have done was wait till Brother Corey Kane was finished, because I did take up some of his time trying to explain it during this time, and I apologize for that, which is why I gave him a couple extra seconds to make his point. Up next for Team B, the opening constructive speech, we have Brother Ankh Akek. You have 5 uninterrupted minutes to make your opening constructive speech. Is Brother Ankh ready? Is Brother Ankh ready?
Right here.
All right. Audrey, do you have the time ready?
I'm ready.
Brother Ankh, time will begin when you begin speaking.
I want to give a shout out to Julian Percy. All right, Julian Percy was the first American chemist. Okay. Shout out to him. He unlocked the secret magic of plants. So immunity, nature's way to fight pathogens, viruses, and worms. Food, like the brother said, is the fuel. It's the gas to the car, but it's not the oil in the engine. This is an electron microscope, and this is a picture of a virus, COVID-19. Viruses, bacteria, worms, and fungi is what we're really talking about. So let's deal with the immune system. Lines of defense. You got your first line of defense includes skin and mucous membrane. That's why we don't deal with Dr. Sebi, because he was trying to kill your mucus. Skin is your first protection, and your mucus is your first protection. Well, how about if a pathogen gets by that? Then we need to come to your second stage of your immunity. It includes macrophages. These macrophages, they engulf the pathogens. Okay, it also inflames everything. So if you step on a stick, right, and it turns red, bottom of your foot turns red and swells up, you know what I'm saying? That's your second stage of immunity. Not immunity, but that's your second stage of protection right there. But these are called non-specific responses. So this is the one we really want to talk about right here. And this is when they're going to lose. This includes the B cells, T cells, the lymphocytes, specific types of white blood cells. So we're talking about adaptive immune system, antigens. Okay, so the vaccine actually trains and prepares your immune system. This is what they do not have over there. It's a white blood cell, okay? Lymphocytes. So you got your B cell, T cells. You got your memory B cells, right? And your memory T cells. This is what the food and herbs cannot do. We remember the pathogens that cross our path. So you got your vaccine right here, right? The body has been given a vaccine. It's training your immune system. See the teacher, see the vaccine? It's teaching the blood cells right there, right? The M and T, the M cells, it's teaching them. Right here, you got the pathogen right here, right? This is a pathogen from a vaccine. It's antedated, okay? So it's weakened, all right? But it's teaching those cells right there, right? That's the real pathogen. Now the body is ready. See that warning sign right there? The body has already looked at it and they know what it is. So let's deal with natural infection for a minute. Natural infection versus immunization. Is natural infection better than immunization? It is true that natural infection almost always causes better immunity than vaccines, whereas immunity from disease often follows a single natural infection. Immunity from vaccines usually occur only after several doses. However, the difference between vaccination and natural infection is the price to pay for immunity. What's the price? Right here, 2 boys had been exposed by the same smallpox source. One had been vaccinated, the other had not. So the one with all the bumps on his face, that's his natural immunity at work. The one with nothing on him, that's the one that got vaccinated. The price to pay for immunity after natural infection might be pneumonia from chickenpox, intellectual disability from Haemophilus influenza type B, HIV. What is that noise? Pneumonia from pneumococcus, birth defects from rubella, liver cancer from hepatitis B virus, or death from measles. It says immunization with vaccines like natural infections induce long-lived immunity, but unlike natural infections, immunization does not exact such a high price for immunity. If you could see the world from the perspective of your immune system, you would realize that where the virus or bacteria comes from, right, is irrelevant. Your immune system sees something that is foreign, attacks it, disables it, and then adds to the memory bank so it can react more quickly the next time it encounters it. That's your coronavirus and the droplets right there. The difference between a vaccine and getting the disease naturally are dose and known time of exposure. Okay, a few vaccines induce a better immune response than natural infections. Human papilloma vaccine, that's a vaccine against cancer, y'all. The high purity of specific protein in the
10
vaccine
seconds.
leads to a better immune response than natural infection. Vaccine. The toxic made in tetanus is so potent that the amount that causes disease is actually lower than the amount that induces the
All right, that was the time up for Brother Ankh. And again, Audrey, I'm gonna let you say the time. I think the time that I heard, that might have been you pushing buttons, and I thought that was your 10-second time. But I'm gonna let you handle the time and give the messages, all right? Because I thought you were giving an earlier time acknowledgement, but you weren't.
I don't know. Somebody's mic must have.
That was somebody's mic was open.
Y'all do realize through my whole thing, y'all was punching buttons and all that.
Yeah,
that wasn't us. That was, I don't know. Somebody must have unmuted, but I can't. The thing was sharing the screen. I cannot see the microphones to come.
Mics are on. So
you were fine. It was somebody else who turned their mic on, and that's what that noise was.
It's called sabotage. You got the sister got a mic open.
Okay, Kai, you do have your mic open.
Yeah, Kai, you did that on purpose.
Kai, you do have your mic open.
So do I get an extra 10 seconds since I got typed through my whole presentation? I want the same thing they did.
Okay, wait a minute. We go give one more point. We go give him a brief point like we gave Corey. But please, guys,
he had all of his time.
But what he's saying is it was noise between.
It's unmuted. I just unmuted it to talk to you. It was not on.
Yeah, I muted you, Kai.
Okay, real quick, Audrey, before we go, there obviously was noise during Ank's time. Hold on, Kai. There was noise because even I thought that was you saying that was the 10-second, and it still was like almost 2 minutes left.
Yeah, it could have been you because you're moving around a lot, and your computer mic picks up all of that noise because if you aren't using an external mic, using your computer mic. So if you're juggling stuff on the desk or moving, I'm just asking. I'm not in the debate.
I know, sis. See how you doing that right now? I'm letting you know, as the moderator, someone was typing through my presentation.
I heard it.
I'm not trying to debate you. I'm simply
saying I heard noise. I heard
it.
It wasn't my noise.
Audrey, what we're gonna do, like we did Corey, but after this, please, everyone mute their mics. If everyone's mic is muted and there's noise, it's the person who's speaking. But I did hear noise during Ank's time because I even thought that, Marjorie, you were saying 10 seconds. So, Brother Ankh, you got about the same amount of time that we gave Corey. Make your point, make it quick.
Very simple. This debate is about immune response. And he talked about T cells. He didn't talk about the memory T cells and B cells. So he's in trouble. That side has nothing that will cause an immune response. I'm done.
All right, thank you. And Audrey, we needed to get that camera on because it's still on Corey. All right. We will now have a 3-minute crossfire between Brother Ankh and Brother Corey. You already know how this works. Please ask a brief question, given a brief answer, and then the other person give a brief question. Please give a brief answer. And remember, you will have a whole section of rebuttal after this, uninterrupted, to say what you need to say. So, Brother Corey, you can ask Brother Ankh a brief question. Ankh, give him a brief answer. Then Ankh, you can ask him a question. And as brief as you guys keep it, you can keep this going until time is up. Brother Corey, Brother Ankh, put your mics on. Audrey, when Corey begins his question, time will start. Everybody else mics off.
All right. So, I mean, my camera is disabled while I'm by the host. Is that what we doing or what?
No, that is not what we're doing. Audrey, you gotta disable, put Corey's camera back on.
Yo, hit the wrong juju button.
Brother, could you
There
mute
he
your
is.
mic? Oh, no,
There
don't
he
have to
is.
mute your mic because you and Corey.
Oh man, it's like a Tyson fight, man.
Let me
like a
let me
Tyson
reset
fight,
the
baby.
okay, I'm gonna reset the 3-minute timer. Wait a minute.
All right, time starts when Audrey gets ready. Time starts
Who's
when
going first? Corey, right?
Corey
All right.
ask the question. You
Yeah, I
guys
hit
know
stop video instead of pin video. All right, I'm pinning your video. Okay,
Right.
I'm ready to start when you are. You ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Robert West, tell me what is your science methodology for saying that vaccines are safe to take by humans, especially Black Americans. Tell me what is your science methodology, procedure of research, study, and expertise in either saying vaccines are safe or not safe. Go.
The sister showed you an actual how a vaccine comes to market, and within the whole procedure, right, it's always safety first. It's always based around safety. They don't get to move to the next phase. It's 3 phases. They don't get to move to the next phase not unless that phase has actually proven to be safe. That's how vaccines are done. And anything that's wrong with the vaccine is the scientists, you know what I'm saying, to actually know that. So the CDC actually shows you all the steps and the safety procedures the whole way through.
You can ask a question of Corey.
My next question is, Corey, I heard you talking about them T cells and the lymphocytes and all that, buddy. So is there a piece of food or a quote unquote herb that causes a response from the immune system? Let me say this right. Is there food or a particular herb, okay, that causes an immune response from those memory T and B cells? Sir.
So what you asked is a rhetorical question. And you know you did that. You know you asked a rhetorical question. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this. Your question is rhetorical, but I am going to answer it in this way, is that you can eat things, take things in your body that will give you an immune response if it has a substance called chromium. One herb that has a high potency of chromium in it, and it will give you an immune response, is a burdock root. Another one has a high content of selenium. Selenium will give you an immune response, and that root is called sarsaparilla root. You despise Dr. Sebi because you despise wisdom. Just to put that out there while I'm at it. And you should have shaved your head before you did this debate. Time.
All right, I believe you still have some more time, but Audrey, we'll go ahead.
No, we good. He just lied. He just made that up. Now I'm asking for a source. So we're talking about a specific immune response. Food does not do that. It has
brother, no lie. This is all facts. No lie. This is all facts. Let's talk about what let's talk about what it does, brother.
Bro,
do you even know what chromium does? Do you even know what chromium is? Do you know what it does?
Time's up.
Are y'all serious right now, dude? You can't cut me up.
Man. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
man.
Brother Corey.
Is he serious?
Okay, you guys are supposed to be going back and forth, but let me say this, because we're about to get into the rebuttal where you guys you just get a chance to do what you do. But Sister Audrey, when we went to that part the camera was still on Ankh, even though Corey was talking. So during the crossfire, it can go between both of them. But let's make sure we get both of them on the screen when both of them are talking, because it just stayed on one person. But what we will go now, Brother Corey, you will now have 3 minutes uninterrupted time to rebuttal anything that Brother Ankh said during any part of this time. And a reminder that Sister Audrey will let you know when it's 10 seconds left. And if you finish before those 10 seconds, you finish before those 10 seconds. After that, the mic will be muted. Brother Corey, Sister Audrey, can we get Brother Corey on when he gets ready to speak? Brother Corey, are you ready for your 3-minute rebuttal?
Can you see this video?
If Corey say something.
I'm here.
I still see you, Audrey.
You see me.
Yeah, Brother Corey, go ahead and say something again, sir.
Mike, check.
It's on you, Audrey. It's still just on you. There we go. There's Corey Kane. Brother Corey, you have 3 minutes uninterrupted time.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right, Mike. Yeah, so the brother said about the T cells, and what he was trying to do is what he always do. And this is what their team does. They use this deflection tactic to deflect you away from your body has everything that it does. It all works differently. So you're talking about the T cells and the B cells, and their sole purpose is to support the immune system, period. To support the immune system, period. And things that you put in your body is going to affect the organ, which is going to affect your immune system. So if we're talking about immune responses, is done by things of like your spleen or your liver or your kidney or any type of organ in your body. You smoke, you drink, you do things, you do damage to your body. What the Black American public has done is they have given the authority to another species, and this is what Dr. Sebi's science brought to us, and while we still developing it because it wasn't finished, is that you eat a certain type of way and your body will be built a certain type of way. Every machine, the body is the original science. So this is where all the science even come from, how it operates and what it does, and the ecosystem supports that. And if you put in your body the proper nutrition, the holistic nutrition, you will be great. Now you can show the picture from the 50s of the two Caucasian little kids, from the 30s or wherever you found that picture at. You ain't psyched that. So don't come here talking about I'm psyching something, right? You can talk about Dr. Percy, that's cool. But virus, bacteria, fungus, and parasite, they all got one thing in common, that's environment. So if your body is an environment for them to be able to operate, live, and thrive, they will. But if your body isn't, they can't survive in that environment. And that's just, that's real science. You know what I mean? So you should understand that, you know what I mean? And get a haircut.
55 seconds. You're done?
He said he's done. All right, you're done. Okay. Brother Corey Kane is done with his rebuttal time. Brother Ankh, you have 3 full minutes to rebuttal anything.
I see him dealing with a silly more. Let me get into him.
Time starts now.
Let me cite the picture for you. In the early 1900s, Alan Werner documented several cases of smallpox and the effects of vaccines. There you go. You can go to snoops.com to check that, brother. That's cited. First of all, you're lying to the people because your memory T cells and B cells, right? They only can do what? They remember the pathogen, okay? You're talking about herbs. Herbs aren't pathogens, okay? Food is not a pathogen. Food have innocuous molecules, which allows, matter of fact, let me do this while we at it. Making it up as you go, I see. That's what the Moors do all the time. You right where I want you to be at right now. Here you go. Let me share my screen. Let me get right to this and show you that he's making it up as he goes. Here we go. Bam, bam. We're gonna come to diet and immune function. Okay, you got 5 people on this paper right here. It says a functioning immune system is critical for survival. The immune system must be constantly alert, monitoring for signs of invasion or danger. Cells of the immune system must be able to distinguish self from non-self. Okay, and furthermore, discriminate between non-self molecules, which are harmful, those some pathogens, and innocuous non-self molecules, food. So when we talk about quote unquote innocuous, we're talking about producing no injury, not likely to give offense. So in terms of pathogens and vaccines, or in terms of food, what we're saying is food is not harmful to you. Not unless you have an allergic reaction to food, then your immune system will react to it. That's an autoimmune disease. You feel me? So food does not activate your immune system, and them daggone herbs don't neither. And he knows that. They do not activate your memory T and B cells so it can remember. So what would the pathogen be that it would be remembering if the herbs could do that? Could it remember the coronavirus from an herb? No, we're talking about specific immunity right now. You got smallpox, viola, you got coronavirus, you got all the different types of viruses that human beings have ran into, you know what I'm saying, for 300,000 years. No herb can make an immune response for a virus, and a specific virus. That's a bunch of lies, and that's what those Moors do, they lie. There you go. You're done, son. And I gave you my source for both of them. I ain't seen a source yet from that side. I have not seen one source yet from that side. They're making up.
Time's up.
All right. Thank you, brother Ankh.
Appreciate you. Love y'all to death. Now you got me on my game now. Appreciate you.
Turn your mic off, brother Ankh. All right. We will move to the opening constructive speech from Sister Kai. Sister Kai, let's get you ready. Make sure that your mic is up. Sister Audrey, make sure we can get her pinned. Sister Kai, can you hear me?
I can.
All right, and we do have you up. So she will have 5 minutes to make her opening constructive speech.
Oh, is the video pinned?
Excuse me?
Is the video pinned?
She was up. You're up now.
Okay, great.
You have a nice haircut too in that picture, by the way. Okay, but Sister Kai is up and she's ready. Sister Kai, when you begin, your 5-minute time will begin. Everyone mute their mics.
Good evening. Good evening to everyone. And I just bring peace, love, and light. This has been very energetically charged and very interesting, to say the least. I'm going to speak directly in relation to the physical, mental, and emotional state. And I'm going to speak from community, because I think that's the one thing we keep leaving out. We keep talking about the vaccination, but what we're really talking about are brown people, or the brown community, also known as Black, either supporting or non-supporting. And so, of course, I'm here for the non-supporting side. But I think what it's very important for us to know is that there are so many categorically and historically facts that support why we would be a little bit hesitant to do something like that. And so my concern is that there may be a questionable confidence in the system that has brought us harm through medicine. The proposed vaccines have not and don't seem to need to be appropriately tested before being pushed on billions of people. So I think that rather than get into an argument with anyone tonight, that certainly isn't what I come to do, but it's to educate my people in love and to give them the confidence to make a wise decision about something that is very serious and that will ultimately affect their health and their life and their future. So I want to take the physical and the mental perspective and put them together, because they kind of do go together in the sense that our mental perspective and the fear that we have, it's very real. And our collective subconscious is not to trust this government and the medical system with great reason. And if we go back to, let's say, May 16th, I want to say, I believe it's 1997, Bill Clinton actually apologized to the African-American people for the Tuskegee experiment. And Sister Dr. Maat, she actually, I believe she brought that into play. And I was so grateful that she did, because that's one of my main things that I wanted to speak about in terms of the physical experiences that we've had here that would make us question, but not just question, but with every right to be concerned deeply about what those effects will be and how honest and how effective it would be for our people to take it, and how wise a choice it would be or not be. So let's look at it from that perspective. And we'll start with the Tuskegee experiment. For 40 years, they did this experiment on our men in Tuskegee, who those people, their families did not know, had no idea what this experiment was about. They were kind of sold the Bill of Rights like we were with the 40 acres and mule and never received it, or like reparations. And we're still fighting for that equity today. And they were told that this vaccination would help them. And I'm going to say this, I'm not here to argue with anyone, because I love my people. And as an activist, I must support us in truth and in love. And so when you come here, and all of you who support this vaccination, and you don't take into very real consideration that physically the Tuskegee experiment did a lot of damage for over 40 years to our people, to our men, and to their family and generations of families, and also ended in death for some of these people. Let's also look at Henrietta Lacks, if some of you know who she is. And one of them spoke about polio today. And one of the reasons that it actually has found a cure for Henrietta Lacks, for polio and other diseases, was the cell that I think it was Johns Hopkins or one of the medical military research centers, they took her cell and duplicated it. And this woman was in 1955. She, I believe, passed away of cancer. And they did this without the knowledge of her family. They did not find out for 20 years until the early 70s. And I know this for sure because I had the pleasure. I didn't speak about the fact that I'm a TV personality and former TV personality. Well, still am actually. And before I left several years ago, I interviewed Henrietta Lacks' son and his wife at Tri-C. One of their series, the last series that they did. And it was amazing because before that time, I didn't know who she was. So when we're talking about not just conspiracy theories, but actual conspiracy against the African-American community, or as I say, the Brown Collective. And then the last thing I thought about as everybody was speaking was when the Indians, when they came over from Europe, we say the Pilgrims, and they said, we want to give you these warm blankets. They failed to mention to the natives, which most of us are, Indians, that there was smallpox in it. So when I put the physical and the mental together, the reason for that is because we have with great reason to fear and be deeply concerned. Also, when I hear about what's his name? They said recently, I saw something, they were saying that this vaccination could not even truly be created unless African-American people took it. Also, from the emotional DNA perspective, if you don't know what emotional DNA is, it is the way we act, react, and respond, succeed or fail in response to events, some of which may have occurred past generations, and their legacies in the way we repeat and react without understanding why. And that's by definition.
All right, time up. The 10 seconds was given, and 10 seconds was used. Now we will move to Brother Shawn, who will give 5 minutes uninterrupted to make his opening constructive speech. Brother Shawn, do we have sound on Brother Shawn, and do we have screen on Brother Shawn? We have screen. All right, Audrey, are you ready to begin the time?
I'm ready.
Brother Shawn, time will start when you begin to speak.
All right, my vocal point of the presentation would be conspiracy theories and the spread of bad information. If not vaccines, then what? Here are my research questions for this presentation, and we'll get into more later. Here's my outline. And I want to open up by saying vaccines have been at war with the religious world since the 1700s. Inspired by Eurocentric thought, vaccines defy God's will to have a cure for something was devilish and inhumane. God wanted to control the population by punishing those who went against its will, and in return, they must suffer. This is the ideology of European mind once solutions to problems began to exist. Luckily, hundreds of thousands of miles away stood the African who totally rejected the notion that we are not supposed to tend to the weak, heal the sick, and treat the wounded. Today, privileged whites in America have carried this notion that vaccines do not benefit them, and they have a choice to decide what goes in their bodies and how much of it they need. Inspired by the Kennedys and the likes, anti-vaxxers have begun to plague the Black community using fear and spook tactics as a means for rejecting vaccinations. This is a political agenda full of propaganda that will expose our youth to pathogens that hunt our existence daily. This movement has always been about white privilege, and to defend that privilege, they have conspired against science and used Blacks to join them in the fight to resist vaccinations. To be anti-science in the middle of a pandemic is to be anti-African, and this psychological disparity is a huge issue our community needs to resolve on its own. Misinformation has caused who believed in it to suffer badly, but one problem still goes unanswered. If not vaccines, then what? Here I have the hierarchy of scientific evidence. You on the left-hand side, you see from the bottom to the top, case reports, opinion papers, and letters is the weakest argument that one can make. The top is meta-analysis and systemic reviews. And then what's non-scientific would be YouTube videos, personal anecdotes, gut feelings, parental instincts, some guy you know, websites, natural views, news, InfoWars, natural health wars, you get it, pseudoscience. Now, what are conspiracy theories? According to Oxford Dictionary, it is the belief that some covert but influential organization is responsible for a circumstance of event. Here, this gentleman right here, he believed that the COVID was a hoax. Him and his wife ended up in the hospital. Now, such conspiracy theories versus reality. You'll hear this numerous times, but COVID-19 escaped from a Chinese lab. This rumor came to life because of Wuhan has China on level 4 biolaboratories where researchers have been studying coronavirus for a long time. Let me move on next. The 5G networks are accelerating the spread of the coronavirus. This theory clearly shows that no PhD is required to create a Twitter account. It should be needless to say that it is biologically impossible for viruses to spread using the electromagnetic spectrum. Abortions are planned so that people can make vaccines from dead baby fetuses. The WI-38 cell lines are believed to be substantial for vaccine production for at least the next several decades. The stories making the rounds about abortions planned are coerced by vaccine research have no basis whatsoever. I'll continue. There is mercury in vaccines, and this can be harmful. Thimerosal, which contains mercury, is used as a preservative in some vaccines to prevent growth of bacteria. Since 2001, there has been no thimerosal or mercury in many vaccines routinely given to children under the age of 6. Furthermore, there is no link with vaccines, thimerosal, or mercury to autism. Fact. Just want to deal with this and put that on the screen. Let me move forward with this. Here's another one for people who like to follow, just some images. Now I conclude. Before I conclude, I spent some time trying to understand the psyche of the African-American anti-vaxxer. I wanted to properly understand why one would run so quick to something they do not have all the facts on. What I found out is Black folk love to believe in something, especially something that is anti-government or anti-science. I say anti-science because of the misconception passed around on social media regarding the Tuskegee experiment. I say anti-government because we always have this thought that they are after us and trying to kill us. These are tools that people like the Kennedys, Larry Cook, Bernard, the Celts, and Andrew Wakefield used to play on our people's emotions. Once we really study the Tuskegee experiment, we will see what really happened. When we start to take science serious, we will then be armed with tools to properly verify scientific theories and its explanation of facts. Until then, it is the psyche of the African American that will always be on display in the public arena and used like an instrument to provoke an outrage against both vaccines and government. The Black women and men in the field of virology and immunology over the history of fighting pathogens have to feel some type of way about how we are responding to the rhetoric of today. They are frontlining the fight against our own ignorance, and all they are asking us to do is study the facts. This presentation was inspired.
Okay, Audrey, was Shawn's time up? Audrey, can we get the moderator?
Yes, his time is up.
Okay, because I didn't hear the 10 seconds.
I had turned my mic off, but he went over. You know,
All right.
that's why I muted him. Mhm.
Okay. All right. What we will do now, we will begin the 3-minute crossfire. Sister Kai, you can open your mic. You can ask Brother Shawn a question, any question, briefly. Shawn, try to give your answer as brief as possible. So you can then ask a question that she can briefly answer, and we can go back and forth until time is up, and you guys will begin your rebuttal. Sister Kai,
Yes.
and Audrey, yeah, there we go. Make sure when it goes back to Shawn that we can see Shawn. Sister Kai, when you ask your first question, time will start.
Okay. Greetings, Brother Shawn. I want to know, how is it that you can support the use of vaccinations and not acknowledge the fact that childhood vaccinations is noted medically for causing autism? In fact, just several years ago, the whole autism movement opened up because of the finding of the vaccination being the cause of autism. And how can you also refute this? Because these are not conspiracy theories. This
One
is
question, please, sister.
question. Okay, that would be the question. Thank you. That's the question. How can you refute?
Shawn, open your mic. Your mic's not open, Shawn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Peace, sister. Thank you for the question. However, there is no link between autism and vaccines based on all types of clinical studies that would need to be present to even show that there's a link, and there is none. My question to you would be, based on your research and your interviewing of the Tuskegee experiment, what actually happened during the Tuskegee experiment, if you don't mind sharing?
No worries. I don't mind. These men were told, these families were told that they were going to be giving a vaccination to heal them for syphilis, I believe. And they were told they would get food and medical care, and this would be over a certain period of time. And they did not receive that. In fact, that wasn't at all what they were given. And some of them actually died from this experiment. Many of them died from this experiment. Many of them actually got sicker. And this went on for generations and generations. They were, again, like I said, promised the brass ring, and they fell short because the government lied to them. And like I said, in May 16th of 1997, Bill Clinton apologized, who was then president, for what the government did to them publicly. So this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is something that is actual fact. So when you say that, it is astounding to me that you can't understand how mentally and emotionally and vibrationally we have created, we have actually suffered a collective subconscious of course, not being able to trust the government or this system. So I think that if you look at not just the fact that we don't trust, you have to look at the fact behind why.
Please ask him a question. You answered it. Ask him a question.
I think it's his time to ask me a question.
He asked you about the Tuskegee.
Honestly, I don't have a lot of questions for him because my position is what it is. A lot of what he stated, as well as his other counterparts, proves a lot of what we were saying. In fact, when Dr. Maat was talking about the testing of the vaccine, and she was speaking about its effectiveness or lack thereof, she said that, first of all, it's tested and then volunteers see if it works. Well, that's the operative word. If it works, testing. It doesn't verify the validity and guarantee of the success of this vaccination because it takes volunteers to see if it's. And then she said, after it is been tested, then they monitor it often. Well, how can you want to take something that is not proven to heal you? It's all just a guessing game, because they're testing and monitoring all the time through it. So that would not make me very confident in taking a vaccine.
Okay, thank you. Now is the rebuttal portion. Sister Kai, you have 3 minutes to rebuttal anything that you choose that Shawn just said, or any point that you are trying to rebuttal. Sister Audrey, make sure when Sister Kai talks, Sister Kai, say something so we can get you pinned. You have your mic off. You still have your mic off, Sister Kai. There we
Okay.
go.
All right.
All right, there we go. You have 3 minutes to rebuttal anything Shawn said. Time starts when you start.
Okay, so you didn't hear what I said about
Your
the
mic was off.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Please forgive me for that. What I was stating was that Dr. Maat actually proved the point. And in fact, and I hope that the community who is watching go back and look at this again and read a lot of the PowerPoints and presentations that they presented, because in actuality, much of what they presented actually sides with us. It says exactly what it means, which is that testing. When she talked about the testing, she said they were testing. To test something means that it's not proven. And then she said that there are volunteers needed to see if it works. And during the process of it seeing if it works, they're monitoring it often. Well, why would you take something that isn't guaranteed? That is very, very serious and very, very scary. And the other thought is this. The body is it's flesh and it's blood. Drugs are synthetic. They're not real. You can't put something in a very real, vibrant, living body that isn't real. It's a synthetic thing and expect it to function properly in your body if it's synthetic. So there's a lot of things. And just because it works fast doesn't mean that it's most effective. So there's more that we need to consider than just saying, oh, it's science and just take the vaccination because you people don't think that it works. We have historically, methodically, and systemically, this system has proven to us that it cannot be trusted. So I'm not saying that vaccines don't work, because we know that they can work, but we need to understand how this particular vaccine works. And I'd like to know what's in the vaccine. Nobody for all of this proof positive that, we should go ahead and take this vaccine. Nobody ever said what is actually in the vaccine. Not one of you said what's in the vaccine. Not one of you said what the side effects might be from the vaccine. And we listen to commercials all the time that talk about, you can take this, but it may hurt your liver or it may make your heart bleed. I mean, it's unbelievable that the three of you cannot see that for us as brown people, we deeply need to be concerned, and that our physical and mental concern about this, as well as our emotional concern about it. And I did speak a little bit about emotional DNA, but we have to understand what that really means and how we're responding as a collective people to that which has been performed against us many, many years. I mean, generations upon generations, we've suffered greatly in this country. So we've got to deal with several issues, and not just about the vaccination, but understanding that we have every right to be deeply concerned about taking it.
30 seconds left.
Okay, well, you know what? That's pretty much all I want to say. I want people to look into not just why the vaccination, but why not the vaccination. And you've got to do your research individually. Each person needs to be very proactive about researching this before they decide to take it. And by the way, I know more white people, European or Caucasians, who don't want to take a vaccination more than I do brown people. So they make a strong argument for it as well.
All right, you done, Sister Kai?
I am, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we will move now to Brother Shawn, who will have 3 minutes of uninterrupted time for his rebuttal. Let's make sure we have sound on Brother Shawn. Do we have sound?
Can you hear me?
We have his screen up. When you begin, your time will begin.
All right, so here's my research question. Why is it important to rebut misinformation concerning the harmful long-term effects of vaccinations? What does the evidence say about long-term effects of vaccinations? Kind of stand on topic. So here's my hypothesis. Anti-vaxxers reject the notion of cross-referencing information and are usually influenced by biased research methods, if they possess a method at all. Kai's position is of such, she refuses to acknowledge a scientific article or journal written in the field to help her reach an honest conclusion. She cannot show us one human being on the planet that has been vaccinated and suffered long-term effects from the vaccine itself. It's more of an emotional appeal than one based on critical scientific evidence. Appealing to emotion is a logical fallacy, and people who commit this always avoid evidence over emotions. Her argument is not based on deductive reasoning. At a time we sit in the middle of a pandemic, we must be scientifically literate in order to help save one another. Again, the pyramidal structure here for hierarchy of scientific evidence versus not scientific evidence. My method. We will take a summarized look into an 895-page book that deals specifically with the adverse effects of vaccines, evidence and casualty. In this text, scientists have provided evidence that challenges the belief of anti-vaxxers based on long-term studies, used clinical trials, and data collected over periods of time. Also, I will provide additional literature in the source sections to help strengthen the position. All right, adverse effects of vaccines and evidence and casualties. Vaccines are not free from side effects or adverse effects, but most are very rare or very mild. Importantly, some adverse health problems following a vaccine may be due to coincidence and are not caused by the vaccine. As part of the evaluation of vaccines over time, researchers assess evidence to determine if adverse events following vaccinations are causally linked to a specific vaccine. And if so, they are referred to as adverse effects under the National Childhood Vaccine Injury Act of 1986. Congress established the NVICP or the VICP to provide compensation people injured by vaccines. Now, to continue, the adverse events selected by the HRSA for IOM review are ones of which people are submitted claims, successful or not, to VICP. The committee appointed to this study was not asked to assess the benefits of effectiveness of vaccines, but only risks of specific adverse events. Its conclusion reflected the best evidence available at the time. Some of the adverse events the committee examined already are accepted in the medical community, but they are minor or manageable. For example, a sudden allergic reaction called anaphylaxis that can follow the administration of some vaccine. Now, definition of adverse and side effects.
10 seconds.
Adverse or unpleasant side effects are extra and unusual. Here's a chart that shows that kills the whole argument. Here's the diseases on the left. On the right, we have the side effects. 1 in 10 will have a reaction on the arm.
Okay, time is up. All right, thank you, Brother Shawn. What we will be doing next will be our summary round, which Team A, Corey Kane, will be given 2 minutes to summarize what his team said, to break it all down and make their point. Brother Corey Kane, could you unmute your mic? Sister Audrey, can we get Brother Corey Kane on the screen to summarize his team's point? All right, now, before you start, I do want to say that I'd also like to thank our sponsor, the Reverence Design Team, my BFF LaDosha Wright, for helping put this together and contributing and donating for the purpose of this event. I will have some announcements when this is over, but right now, Brother Corey Kane, you have 2 minutes to summarize your team's points. Time will begin when you begin.
All right, thank you. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out, being here. Again, this, it's not going to happen all in 2 minutes, but I'm going to do my best. We started with just talking about the Cutters incidents, how vaccines, how they're bought, how they're paid for, how they're done, what makes up culture, medical, life, food, language, these things that make up culture. We also talked about how the body works naturally by itself and how the ecosystem supports the body fully to be prepared for anything that it encounters. You don't even see no deers with no mask on. Deers running around, they ain't been infected by a pathogen, but anyway, they stick to their diet. So we also talked about the emotional, how we feel against how my man said, the pseudosciences, but they're quoting Western medicine, the people who captured you, brought you here, made you a slave, made you vaccine, put smallpox on you, made you eat their diets. I'm talking about epigenetics, the things that change your DNA. We summed up the reason why you should, if you stuck to a proper nutrition, health nutrition system, emotionally, physically, mentally, how you could prepare your body. And what the competition, not even saying competition because it's really none, it's your choice. What we talked about was the hundreds of thousands of people who have common side effects to the testing of vaccines. And it's up to them to monitor you. You might just be one of those hundreds of thousands of people who volunteer and be tested, and it might not work right. And the brother even talked about anaphylaxis, which it says is a potentially life-threatening allergic reaction. Not that it was just allergic reaction or rash, a life-threatening allergic reaction. And so that's hundreds of thousands of people that could be tested by human error. And we're talking about you navigating through the system by understanding your body and how your body works, how fascinating.
10 seconds.
Is. And within that 10 seconds, just understanding your history here, understanding where you're going, and all it boils down to it being your choice. What's in the vaccine? Nobody can tell us that. So that's the big question.
All right, my brother, Corey Kane, thank you. All right, we will have a 3-minute summary by Brother Ankh Kek. Brother Ankh, are you unmiked?
Yes.
You will have 2 minutes, just like Corey Kane did, and time will start for you to summarize your team's rounds. Time will begin when you begin.
Hey, Slick, that's called passive immunity from the CDC, and it only lasts 3 months, bro. Get that straight, that breast milk thing. So we got 3 the hard way, 3 pseudos, emotional. They got that quote unquote information that made your man lose his job. They rocking that right now. So it's clear, right? They have not answered the question. If not a vaccine, then what? Herbs do not cause, right, an immune response. I'm gonna say it again. Herbs do not cause, right, an immune response. Food does not cause an immune response to specific pathogens, right? Vaccines do that. That's the only thing since the African Onesimus brought that, right, to the colonies in the 1700s. The Akan science, high medical science of inoculation, right? They have eradicated smallpox based off of that. So at the end of the day, right, they have not shown one source. They have misled the whole community. We gave sources and proper methodology. What did they give you? A whole bunch of malarkey. Matter of fact, I'm not listening to a bunch of people that claim to be Native Americans, and it's clear as day that they're African Americans. Second point, Homo sapiens sapien is Homo sapiens sapien. So they made up a whole new race based off of misinformation. Misinformation is dangerous. Misinformation is dangerous. Once again, our position is clear. They do not understand the body. Because if they did understand the immune system, you would clearly know, right, that only the actual pathogen, you know what I'm saying, can actually cause an immune response, not food, right, and not herbs. Stop using Nick Cannon information. Come on over to the scientific side of things. It's clear that vaccines are safe.
10 seconds.
Matter of fact, you stand a better chance, right, of getting hit by a car walking across the street than getting hurt by a vaccine. As a matter of fact, you stand a better chance, right, of getting struck by lightning than getting hurt by a vaccine.
All right, time is up. Thank you, Brother Ankh. Now, what we will do right now, everybody, now this should be interesting because now we're headed to the grand crossfire. For 5 minutes, everyone can open their mics. Sister Audrey, let's go to the gallery view. For 5 minutes, everyone can open their mics and ask a question. Please don't make a statement. Ask a question. You can figure out who you want to ask the question to. Give a quick answer. Did somebody else ask a question? I'm letting you know now, this portion is gonna be a little bit of a free-for-all. So just bear with everyone. I'm not so much going to kind of moderate this section, but I'm gonna leave it up to you guys for everybody not to be yelling and screaming at each other. But what I will do is I will allow the sisters to ask the first questions. So Dr. Maat, you can ask the first questions to whoever you want. They can answer it. Sister Kai, you can ask a question to whoever you want. They can briefly answer it. Then whoever else wants to get their question in, get it in and let somebody answer it. And I mean a question, not a speech. An answer, not a speech. when
You need to jump in on that, Jill. I'm gonna tell you right now.
we gonna see how this works. I'll jump in if it takes too long. But Sister Dr. Maat, you can ask the first question to whoever, answer it. Sister Kai, first question after that, they can answer it. Audrey, if we can go to the gallery view, that would be appreciated. All right. Are we at the gallery view?
Yes.
All right. Dr. Maat and Sister Audrey, keep time.
All right, so brother Kevin, chill. My question is this: do we have to make a question, or can we kind of refute or make some statements, or is this a back and forth? You know, like
It's a back and forth.
Yeah, but I really don't want to ask a question. I want to make a comment. So can we make a comment? Because I want to address them saying that we don't know what's in vaccines. That's very erroneous. You know exactly what's in.
Brother, chill. This is a part of the format. We went over the format.
Time out. Hold on, guys.
Yeah,
Dr. Maat, ask a question.
Okay, well,
somebody will ask you a question and you answer it.
Okay, well, I don't have any questions. I have comments. I don't have questions.
I do.
Well, somebody from their team can start with a question. Then Sister Kai will be next with a question after the answer. Go ahead, Brother Ankh.
I want to know what herb, what piece of food can act like a virus, right, and cause an immune response to a virus. I'm going to ask you one more time, Mr. Moore, Corey Kane, what piece of food, what herb, okay, can act like a virus and make the body think it's a specific virus? What herb can do that, bro? And bring me a source with that.
Vitamin C heals.
Look, let's just say this, man. Let's just say this, and we not brothers, right? Because I don't know you for real. But let's just say this, right? Let's just say the question that you asked me had a direct answer that you could even ask me. You asking me what herb can act like a virus. No herb can act like a virus.
That's the dumbest ass call.
And I appreciate that.
No. You asked your dumb. You asked your intelligible. You asked your intelligible. You asked your intelligible. You asked your intelligible question. That's it for you.
You asked your question.
You asked your intelligible question. No, you asked your question. You asked your question. Mute. You asked your question. That's it.
You asked a question. Question was answered.
That's it.
Mr. Kai, question.
Wow. Well, vitamin C is a food that can actually act as an immune builder. So if you want to know a food, Brother Ankh, I believe is your name.
You need to ask a question.
Okay, my question, I guess after hearing all of this rhetoric and nonsense and aggression coming from the other side, if what you say is are whole facts that you have, that you're just repeating from books that you read, which we can all do. I don't know here, but I've gone to college as well. If what you say is true, what is the act of aggression about? If your facts are true and you did not ever, because I'm not here to say what a person should or should not do, just state my position on it, but you never did say what was in the vaccine. You never did say, what the side effects, because that was my question. So since you're so for and so pro it, please answer that, because if you're going to tell people to take it, you are responsible. You are responsible to answer what is in it and what the potential side effects are and what is the outcome, the desired outcome result is going to be in them taking it.
The act of aggression started on your side. Hold on. I appreciate you jumping on our side and say that vaccines do work. I can't believe you boomerang dagged yourself, both y'all two. Now we wait.
You want to dance? Answer the question. Quit dancing, man.
I'm talking around an answer, man. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that pseudo whatever you talk.
Can y'all let that brother answer the question?
What the hell was the question? It was
what's in the vaccine? What's in the vaccine, my man?
I'll answer the
vaccine. Hold on. Formaldehyde. That's one.
Hold on, Kai. Let him answer.
Well, I asked two questions. What's in the vaccine?
One question.
Oh, okay. Well, since you're
you already asked it. Right. Answering it.
Okay. I don't know if
I'm gonna give you one ingredient: formaldehyde.
We already said that. Come on, what's in it?
Well,
Here she go. Here you go. Somebody timing in.
well, if you know the effects of formaldehyde,
Aluminum salts, stabilizers. We know it's in vaccines.
excuse me.
No, we don't. We don't know. Yeah.
All right, you know what? Just because y'all can't read, that's y'all fault.
I mean,
Reading is
Listen.
fundamental around here.
Sucking and jiving.
All
Sucking
right,
and jiving. Next
hold on.
question.
Can we take the screen off, Audrey? Can we we're just talking right now.
Hey, Kevin,
All
Sucking
right.
and jiving. I got a question.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Stereo. Get in
I got a question. First of all, okay, we know you don't know what's in the vaccine. We already established that. My question to you is, do you have the medal table? Do you know about the medal timetable, all the things, all the medals and stuff on the map? Do you know the medal timetables at all?
You talking about the element chart, brother?
Yeah, do you know that?
it's called the periodic table.
Get out of here, man.
Do you know that? Do you know the period? Do you know it? Forget what it's called. You know what I'm talking about.
You don't know what it's called. Really?
They call it that. Come on, man. Don't jump around because you put on
Exactly. Do you know what it is?
Man, you in that style, bro.
Do you know what it is? Because only reason I'm asking you because selenium and chromium is not an herb, my man. So that is what Corey Kane said. You have no idea what could hit the lymphatic system to go in like a vaccine. Selenium and chromium is your answer. I don't mind educating you, my man. That's what we're here for.
Yo, get out of here with that debunk. You killed yourself just now.
You clowning right now.
Wait, herb, food, not selenium.
He don't know that 20. He don't know chromium. Listen up.
Talk about misinformation. Talk about misinformation. You clown.
All right, Corey and Stereo. Y'all rock for a minute, and I'll rock for a minute. Let Shawn get in.
Hey, Shawn,
All right, so right. We're supposed to ask a question, but all I'm hearing is
one down. Next.
Here's
what's up, Junior?
Now, we asked y'all 20 times, if not vaccines, then what? We got
You did get an answer.
Chromium.
You did get an answer. You just didn't understand the answer. It's a difference.
May I say one thing? I really
10 seconds.
All the yelling.
Hey, sis, check this out. You on a spaceship somewhere with that. I ain't gonna lie to you, and I love you to death. But y'all have not given us one soul.
Don't understand it.
I'm gonna
time up.
Round over.
All right, time up. That's time up, guys. Everybody mute their mic. That was the grand crossfire. That pretty much went how I thought it would go. We appreciate everybody for participating in that. So finally, we will come to the final round, the final focus round. We will begin with Stereo, the Hitman, to tell us why his team won and why the other team lost, followed by Shawn, the Mossy Warrior, to let us know why his team won and why the other team lost. Now, I will tell you that after this is over, we will reboot this YouTube page, go back to start a new YouTube link, and everybody is invited to come on and go through whatever else they want to talk about, why they think they beat the other team down. People in the chat, I will give you also the link. So it's a lot of people in the chat. Just come on in and have a big old after party talk and talk about it. But after this, we will close this out and reopen the YouTube channel. And I will give everybody the link that wants to come on. That's everybody on the panel. And that is all the people that are in the chat. And by the way, before we go to the final round, when we put it on, I will also put in the donate to the Chill Talk platform. I will put the Cash App in there, and I appreciate you guys. Anything you can donate. So we will finish this up. If we can have Brother Stereo, the Hitman unmute his mic. He will have 2 minutes to tell us why his team won and why the other team lost. Brother Stereo, can you unmute your mic?
I'm muted.
All right. Sister Audrey, do you have the timer? Sister Audrey, we ready?
We are ready. 2 minutes on the clock.
Brother Stereo, when you start talking, the 2 minutes will begin.
I'm like a bull out the gate. You done did it now. Understand something, people who's listening and who's watching. The reason our team spanked them like we knew we would, because we already knew from the gate it's a lack of comprehension. Now, if you pay attention and go look back at the show, they just said, we asked you a question. You didn't give us an answer. No, the reason, my man, was that you didn't understand the answer, which means you lack the knowledge of understanding. So how can you stand on a platform when you lack the knowledge of understanding and you lack what you call comprehension? I asked your man a question. He danced around like he was on Showtime at the Apollo. What's good? Now, at the end of the day, man, this is what we want to do. We want to make sure that everybody knows if you take a vaccine, know what's in it. You understand? It's your choice. This is pro-choice America if that's what you want it to be. It's your choice. But because the government say, hey, you got a vaccine, and because you go to the doctor and say, have you had your flu shot yet? That don't mean you have to take it. Know what's in it, man. Because once you realize what's in it, like my man Corey Kane said, deers don't get vaccine. If you give a polar bear and a gorilla and switch their diets and get a polar bear the gorilla's diets and the gorilla the polar bear diets, they truly and surely will die. Which means there's no two species alike when it comes to medicine. You have to choose and put each person on their own regimen of anything because we are all made different, if that's the case. I'm not saying medicine won't heal you in some ways, but at the same time, you were born being healed by yourself. So understand that. Like my man said, the first vaccine was the milk from your mother's tits. And I like tits. So at the end of the day, it is what it is. I just had to say that because I had to be Stereo the Hitman. Now you see I changed.
All right, I guess that means time. Stereo, I was looking for my my Ice Cube face on that one. But I appreciate that. Now, Brother Shawn, you will have 2 minutes uninterrupted time for your final focus to tell us why your team won and the other team did not win. Do you have your mic on?
Yeah, I'm good.
Sister Audrey, do you have the time ready?
Yes, sir.
Brother Shawn, the time will begin when you speak. It's on you.
Imagine a world imagine America without any vaccines. 300+ million people living on top of one another. Imagine that. Imagine the return of polio, measles, mumps, rubella, and smallpox. Vaccines help eliminate each one of those viruses and eradicate smallpox altogether. We're sitting here having a discussion with people who refuse to be scientifically literate and present evidence and just basically argue a premise that makes us chase them down a rabbit hole. We can take the Samoa incidents that happened in 2019. We can take the New York, the Brooklyn measles outbreak that happened in 2019 before the pandemic of the coronavirus spread. We take a look at every last one of those cases, and what we see is something that was not around come back and emerge. When you take vaccines away, you have to supplement that reaction to smallpox, that outbreak. You have to treat polio again, measles, mumps, rubella. So what we did was we walked you through the history, we walked you through the methods, we walked you through the structure, how conspiracy theories dominate the conversation, and we tried to give you fact-based evidence, which we did, fact-based evidence. Also, we have clinical trials to actually put on the screens, but because of the time that we have, we couldn't get to those. However, we did what we did to argue our stance from a great perspective. Now, I want to give props to our African-American brothers and sisters who also helped advance vaccines. Lewis T. Wright, who helped the injection, the vaccine technique. Looney C. Gordon, who helped create the whooping cough vaccine. James McCoon, who opened the first pharmacy and advanced and advanced science in that field back in his time. Onesimus, you keep hearing about, who orchestrated the Europeans and helping them understand what smallpox was. And our sister Kizzy Corbett, she dealing with coronavirus right now.
All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to congratulate everybody who participated in this camp. Thank you. I'd like to participate everybody in this who participated in this. A lot of information in a little bit of time. First time doing this.
Chill.
Perfect. No. If I let you ask a question and somebody's gonna want to say something, but we can do that really quick. What you need, Aunt?
I'm just saying, could you just ask some guys to show the books? They don't have no books.
Man, let him stop
No,
talking.
no,
man.
we're not
Let him
doing that.
stop
All right.
talking, man. We don't want to hear what he got to say.
Okay,
man.
let me finish.
Public
Let me
fans.
finish. What we're gonna do is, my man Corey. What we're gonna do is, I'd like to thank everybody. After this is over, I'm gonna close this out for all the people that are watching this and that will watch this afterwards, and then we will start up a new YouTube channel page for everybody can come in and we can talk about this till the sun comes up if you want to. So I appreciate everybody who watched this. When I reissue it, I will put in a donate. If you want to donate to Chill Talk, Chill Vision Television, please subscribe. If you are not subscribed right now to the Kevin Chilhur YouTube channel, please do so. Hit the notification button so you can be notified, because I got a feeling that we will see some of these people again. And as a matter of fact, I will invite anybody who wants to come back on any one of these teams to just talk to the audience and talk about things that they didn't get a chance to say, issues they want to make. You can get it in, almost unlimited. So, but I appreciate you guys participating with us. We're going to close it down. I'll reopen it and we will continue the after party discussion on the YouTube channel. Again, guys, I appreciate you. Sister Audrey, I know it was a little rough on you, but you did a good job. Of course, thank you to my sister, my BFF, LaDosha Wright, for sponsoring this, the Reference Design Team. Big up to the Reference Design Team. To the members of Team A, let me get them in order. Brother Stereo, the Hitman. Thank you, sir. Stereo, you can say, whatever, you're welcome or appreciate it or whatever. Unmute your mic, not a speech though.
Yo, Chill, I want to definitely thank you, my man. I want to take this victory and run with it. They better accept this ass whipping they just got, excuse the French. But at the end of the day, my man, don't nothing stand on nothing but facts. And
all right, thank
science
you,
and facts. We good.
Thank you, brother Stereo. My brother Corey Kane, I appreciate your time and your information. If you want to unmute your mic and just say something really brief on the way out, please do so.
I just want to say peace and blessings to all the ancestors that have blessed us with this knowledge that came way before the enemy ever captured us and brought us here. I want to give a shout out to my team. I want to thank you for your platform. I want to thank the other team for even giving us a chance to sharpen our wits and say which way. Bottom line, it comes down to a choice. Everybody has their own choice of what they should do. I think this is a great platform to give people a lot of information so they will be able to make a proper decision on what it is that they want to do either way it goes. So God bless everybody, or bless you if you don't believe in God, or if you a God killer, or you haven't killed a God, but you said you was a God killer, you a fraud.
All right. Thank you very much, brother Corey Kane. Sister Kai, love. Always good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you. We got to get you back on Chill Talk. Brother Kai, Sister Kai, can you unmute your mic and just say a few words on the way out of here? Your mic's still muted, Kai.
All right, there we go. Peace, love, and light to everyone. Thank you so much, Brother Chill, for your platform. Thank you, everybody. I believe everybody has the right to choose. Life is an act of consciousness. Just choose wisely. I would also like to invite you to buy my book, I Am Wealth, The Internal Manifesto to Manifestation by Kai Love. It's on Amazon. It's about success blockers, but there's so much more about emotional DNA that I wanted to get into tonight that's in that book. I appreciate you, all of you. I think you're great people. I think you have an important voice, and I think we all have the right to use it. Thanks and good night.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Oya Maat. If we still have Dr. Maat in the building, we do. If you could unmute your mic, I really appreciate you coming on the platform. Dr. Maat, if you want to say a couple of things on the way out, and please let the people know about your mail trek and just say something on the way out.
Absolutely. I just want to say this was a great discussion that we had tonight. I know we've been using the word debate, but to me, it was a discussion. Science is undefeated. And so again, I had a wonderful time discussing this issue with you all. Thank you for creating this platform, Brother Kevin. And I look forward to future discussions on your platform. Please, family, support the Meltrek program. All right, because we got to teach our babies who we are and where we come from and all of the great things that our ancestors have achieved in the areas, especially in the areas of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. If you want to purchase the Meltrek program for your child, just go to your search engine, type in Meltrek, MELTREK, and links to purchase the Meltrek program will populate in your search engine. Thank you so much, Brother Chill, again, for creating this platform. Peace and love.
Thank you, Dr. Maat. The Mossy Warrior, Brother Shawn, if you can unmute your mic, say a few things, let the people know about any product that you need us to know about, and hopefully we'll see you over on the other side when we open up another discussion program right after this. Brother Shawn.
Yeah, appreciate you, Chill, for having us on. Appreciate the opportunity to be able to present a little bit of piece of information to the listening audience. It gets deeper, of course. We have a lot more information. However, it was what I expected, to say the least. I expected some of the outbursts to be like that, but it is what it is. I think that once you play back the video, people will appreciate what actually just transpired on your platform. So thank you again. Spills of the Mossy Volume 1 is out right now. You can get that on Kofi Pie-Side Research from Kofi Pie-Side Research Team.com on off the website, or you can hit us up on Facebook. Thank you, LaDosha, for your contributions and involvement in the book. It is in West Africa as well. Not many people can say they got a book that's all this way to West Africa. So Brother Chill, you and LaDosha have been instrumental in that, and the whole Cleveland family. Thank you for your support. Volume 2 is on the way. It's around the corner. It's edited, and it's all we waiting on is a button to push, but that drops 8/14. So be on the lookout for that in the next few weeks. And again, I just want to say thank you to everybody on the panel for this discussion tonight, and Shimmer Motel.
All right, Brother Shawn. All right, Brother Uncle Keck, the God Killer. Go ahead. Stereo cracks up every time I say that. Brother Ankh, you want to open your mic, say something on the way out, and we will go over to, I'll shut this down like I said before, and then open up a new discussion page on the YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Brother Ankh, take us out of here.
So here's a book. First of all, that side ain't got no books. Biology for Dummies. They definitely need to read this. Biology for Dummies. Vaccines did not cause ritual autism by our vaccine scientists. That would be Peter Hotez. The Elements. This for your main man right there. He messed it up. He ain't know what the element, the periodic table was called. He bananas. Get this book, The Elements, right? Plagues of the End and the End of Antiquity. The Chronology of Human Evolution. They kept making us separate from other human beings. You need to read that. They ain't got no biology books, it's obvious. Microbiology, right? They need to get a biology book. They don't have it. Time Life magazine, warning, we are not ready for the next pandemic. This was written in 2017.
Let's wrap this one up, brother.
I ain't going to look. Deadliest Enemy, Michael Osterholm, Pox. You know what I'm saying? The American history. You know what I'm saying? Of the anti-vax movement. Blacks in Science. Hold on, I'm gonna finish.
No, we doing one more, then you're gonna take that over. We're gonna take that over to the other channel.
Forgotten People and Forgotten Diseases and Blue Marble and Infectious Diseases and the Immune System.
All right.
That side ain't got no book.
All right, time,
brother Ark. All right, we appreciate you guys.
Too late.
We're gonna see you. We're gonna see. I'm still grabbing books. We're gonna see you over at the same page. Everybody that's watching right now, stay tuned. I'm gonna shut this down and I'm gonna open up a new joint, and I will put the link to out there in the chat line for everybody to join this party. We appreciate you all. We love y'all. Support this channel. We're going to be doing new stuff. We live, we learn, we get better and better and better. I promise you. We up out of here, y'all. Support the whole Kevin Chill Herd, Chill Talk, CVTV, Chill Vision Television platform, Chill Talk Live. You'll see it coming. Look for all a bunch of other good stuff. We out of here. Peace.